Are New York's skyscrapers empty? On Manhattan's 57th Street, half of the luxury skyscrapers are unoccupied. This street is also called the Billionaire's Row. New York City, winter 2003. The metropolis is awash in snow, half a meter of white blanket that makes the atmosphere of the Big Apple magical. At 25 Columbus Circle in the middle of Manhattan, an apartment on the top floors of a 200-meter tower with a breathtaking panoramic view of Central Park is sold. At $43 million, more than $22,500 per square foot. The monstrous buying and selling provides American builders with a confirmation. The best way to speculate in New York is on top of skyscrapers. It is the beginning of a profound transformation of the Manhattan skyline. For New Yorkers, it is called Billionaire's Row. That is, a long row of super tall buildings whose height exceeds 300 meters just south of Central Park. In recent years, skyscrapers have pushed higher and higher and become thinner. But Billionaire's Row has given rise to a completely different form of skyscraper, the super-slender residential tower. In Manhattan, space is a precious commodity, which means that if you want to build big, you have to build high. Buildings must be tall enough to provide a view of Central Park, and the builders of Billionaire's Row took years to acquire air rights to the properties surrounding their land. This meant that they could use those new air rights to build their property higher and ensure that neighboring buildings did not obstruct their newly constructed views of Central Park. It's a bit like putting together a very expensive puzzle. New York's building code considers a building super-slender if it has a width-to-height ratio of 1:7, but the towers on Billionaire's Row go far beyond that. 157 was the first of the group to be completed in 2014 with a 1:8 ratio. Next came 432 Park Avenue with a 1:15 ratio. From there, 53 West 53rd, 111 West 57th Street and Central Park Tower joined the rows of super-slender skyscrapers that dominate the Manhattan skyline. Today, the thinnest of the bunch is 111 West 57th Street, is officially the thinnest skyscraper in the world. It is only 18 meters wide, but rises to a height of 435 meters. This means a width-to-height ratio of 1:24. And of course, when you are 400 meters high, you have to think about the wind. Engineers have some tricks they can use to prevent the building from tilting too much, such as creating steps on the front of the building, omitting glass in the mechanical floors, and installing a mass damper on the top of the building. Billionaire's Row has essentially created a new asset class in luxury real estate. This is due to a sharp increase in global wealth, resulting in an increase in wealth inequality. A smaller and smaller slice of people controls a larger and larger share of the world's wealth. One place to invest some of that money? Luxury real estate, such as the units on Billionaire's Row. The problem is, as reported by the New York Times, that half of the luxury apartments built in the past 5 years are still unsold, and there is nothing to suggest that buying and selling will be finalized in the next few years. The paradox of real estate speculation in the Big Apple is all here. A city that suffers huge housing problems, but instead of affordable housing, builds super luxury assets, without even being able to sell them. Meanwhile, rents are also exorbitant, and there are some 79,000 homeless people crowding the city streets in makeshift shelters, subways, and under cardboard boxes. Also pushing up prices is the exponential increase in the number of residents. It grew by 500,000 between 2008 and 2018, while only 100,000 more housing units were built in the city in the meantime, most of which precisely in no way meets the needs of New Yorkers. They mainly need small or medium-sized apartments, while for speculative reasons immense ones are being built, and unaffordable ones. Thus, the only ones who still manage to afford a house in New York are Russian, Chinese, or Arab billionaires. This long succession of skyscrapers has surpassed as a value even Mount Nicholson, Hong Kong's ultra-wealthy neighborhood overlooking the city from a lush elevation where billionaires escape the pollution of the city below. Luxury housing units in buildings in the exclusive Midtown Manhattan section have been sold for more than $100 million, according to a study exclusively shared by the Post reveals. Summing up, about 44% of the building's apartments remain empty. This figure translates to 341 of the building's 772 total housing units. The 772 units boast a combined value of just over $17 billion, with 39.7% of that amount tied to units that remain unsold. New Yorkers are not enthusiastic about these buildings, and the billionaires themselves do not seem to be eager to live there. So who were these buildings built for? These residences are among the tallest skyscrapers in the world, offer some of the most luxurious features an apartment complex can have, and are centrally located near such iconic sites as the Russian Tea Room and Carnegie Hall. However, there is still an uncertainty about moving there. One building, located at 1 Park Lane, has been put on hold, seized, and sold at auction for less than $1 billion. It seems that these luxury apartments exist only as decoration. If they are to be occupied, significant changes must take place. In 2016, the federal government revealed plans to monitor trust companies that use apartments like these for money laundering. However, even if this forces some apartments to become available, prices will have to fall, or New York will have to find new billionaires who actually want to move into the towers. Will it ever be possible for the middle class to afford one of these places? Probably not. What emerges is a glaring disparity in housing policy in New York City. While luxury homes continue to be built, housing affordability for the middle class and those struggling to find adequate housing remains a pressing issue. The city has become a symbol of inequality, where luxury high-rises are expanding while increasing numbers of people find themselves homeless. This scenario highlights the need for broader reflection on urban planning, housing equity, and the social responsibility of real estate builders and developers. It is crucial to consider the need for affordable housing, sustainable housing policies, and innovative solutions to address the housing crisis plaguing the city. In conclusion, the high percentage of empty apartments in Manhattan's high-rise buildings can be attributed to a number of factors, including high prices, real estate speculation, concentration on luxury housing, and lack of supply suited to the needs of the local population. This situation raises the question of housing equity and the need for more inclusive urban planning to ensure a sustainable future for all New York City residents. We hope we have intrigued you with the story of New York's empty luxury skyscrapers. Follow us for more videos.